In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, talks about the additions the Bengals made on the back end. Their first two picks, and I'm going to call them defensive backs. I mean, that's what they are because they're so versatile. They can play anywhere. Both have experience at safety, at outside corner, at slot corner on the inside. And boy, does that give Lou Anarumo a lot of flexibility, a lot of versatility. It's going to be like a mad scientist in his lab with test tubes and beacons and Bunsen burners and coming up with all kinds of defensive packages that are going to confound and confuse upcoming opponents in the 2022 season. Can't wait. We're going to talk to Robert Livingston. On the back end, he coaches the safeties. He's got himself a good one to work with. Dax Hill has got a very, very bright future. And boy, you had Dax Hill that runs a 4.3840 and Cam Taylor-Britt runs a 4.3840 as well. There's not many secondaries that have as much overall team speed as the Cincinnati Bengals. In fact, defensively, this team can run. Our draft coverage continues in the trenches. And today, Robert Livingston, coaches safeties for the Cincinnati Bengals, has been in the personnel department for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think that is a very, very interesting twist. And we're going to get into that right off the bat here. First of all, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you this morning, Mr. Lapham?
I'm doing great. And thank you for joining us. Thanks very much. I know it's a busy time. The fact that you have been with the Bengals from personnel side of it and did an outstanding job there, and then you transition over to the coaching end of things and doing an outstanding job there. Having a background, how does it make it easier, or does it help you, I guess, is my question. Does it help you as a coach with your role in terms of adding personnel with the Cincinnati Bengals now?
Yeah, I think it does. It gives you a little bit of an understanding of the way we do things here, obviously, right, wrong, or indifferent. We've got a way that we do things, so it kind of expedites the process. Writing reports, things like that are much easier. You kind of know the flow that you like to use. And, so no, I think it definitely helped. Seeing the big picture sometimes. Obviously, this scouting process is designed to just shoot holes in people, right? Too often we don't focus on what they can do, more of what they can't do. So I think just to kind of be hopefully a broader thinker and say, this is what this guy can do to help us. So no, it's a phenomenal experience. I think I was very fortunate to work with those guys. Bill Tobin, Duke Tobin, kind of mentors of mine, and even the staff we have now: Mike Potts, Steve Radisovich, Andrew Johnson, Christian Sarkeesian, and then adding Trey Brown this past year has been phenomenal. So just blessed to be here.
So obviously in this year's draft, defensive orientation, and Lou Anarumo in his presser for the draft said basically that you don't have to be a football Einstein to figure that cornerback is an area of need, and just in the back end period. In my opinion, looking at these guys, the first two guys that you picked, I'm not saying they're clones, but there's a lot of very similar traits between Dax Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt with respect to position versatility. They're almost positionless. I mean, it's like, I'm not sure I categorize them as, I'm just going to call them defensive backs. They can play corner, safety, they can be in the slot. I mean, they're very versatile, aren't they?
Yeah, that's obviously key this day and age, right? In the NFL, I think if you obviously putting your offensive lineman hat on, ID and mic protection and guards and bigs and spinners and all that stuff, if you can have that mindset as defensive backs, guys can cover slots, guys can cover tight ends, guys can blitz. It's ever evolving, amoeba-ish, I guess. But no, super excited for both of them. Both young, hungry, eager guys have played multiple spots. I think that's key. As you know, the more you can do, the more valuable you are. When you're only dressing 46 guys, if you can wear a couple hats, that obviously helps the team. It helps you. It helps your career. It helps a lot of things. So versatility is always a plus. I can't say enough about the group of guys we had last year. Love those guys as much as any people I've ever been in contact with, working with, the DB room. So excited to add these guys and get back to work.
Added team speed, and that is a huge asset. I mean, there's no substitute for speed. And two guys that were timed in 4.38. I mean, and they've got its size, speed ratio is outstanding. Overall athleticism is outstanding. Man, and like you said, in this era of football, you have to, particularly in the AFC North, you have to deal with phenomenal tight ends. You have to deal with quarterbacks that can run like running backs. I mean, there's a lot of, as you know better than anybody, there's a lot of things you got to concern yourself with. And
Yeah.
to have athletes like that with that kind of speed, how big is it?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit scarred because every time I hear breaking news, I expect a wide receiver to get traded to the AFC. That's kind of the last 2 months. That's what it's been. Lou said something, I guess, on Friday night or Thursday night that we got to chase around two of the most elusive quarterbacks in the NFL 4 times. And I think that's the first time it really kind of hit me like, okay, here we go. But no, adding team speed is obviously key. It's a tough division. It's a tough everything. I think the AFC North is obviously loaded for bear every year. Can't say enough about those other organizations. They reload and get ready to go. So again, 2 young pieces that'll hopefully help in some capacity. Hard to say what that will be, but you like their makeup, and I think the combination of adding them to the room we already have is pretty special. So that's kind of what we're banking on.
You mentioned some of the variables, or I should say intangibles, with respect to their character. Cam Taylor-Britt, looking at his basically resume and honors and awards, 3-time Nebraska Scholar Athlete Honor Roll,
Mm-hmm.
Brooke Behringer Citizenship Team, Tom Osborne Citizenship Team, Dax Hill, academically is outstanding. I mean, some guys are academically intelligent, but not football intelligent. Some guys, it's totally the reverse. Some guys, it's both. Looks like these guys have both raw intelligence and football IQ.
Yeah, I think as you know, there is a difference, right? And I think they do have both. Again, it's so early in the process, kind of just getting to know them, and so we'll jump into the playbook and the defensive stuff going soon. Just speaking on character, 2 great guys. I think, I was so fortunate again this year to work with the group of guys that we had, and I think it affirms everything you want to believe as a coach, as a father, as a businessman, as whatever. That the more good people you have around you, the more they'll care about each other and the more successful you'll be. So that has changed my life, candidly. I will carry that with me forever, and just excited for these guys to kind of see the culture we have and be a part of it. And it won't be hard for them. Again, they're 2 top shelf individuals, so very excited.
How big is it that also you've had very good success over the last few years here, drafting guys that played, in big programs, in front of big big crowds, big atmospheres, big stages, and Dax Hill, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, as much as I would like to tell you that the William and Mary versus Richmond game was 120,000 people in Rockin', it wasn't.
Right.
So no, I think when you add guys that have been to the pinnacle, you're playing obviously Ohio State 3 times, going to the college football playoffs this past year, and then just mindset wise, right? Like it's, I think everybody would recognize from the outside looking in, Michigan was in a kind of make or break year. This past year, maybe reminiscent to somebody else that and they
Right.
both had success. So, he's kind of felt that pressure for a long time. Again, that's a good thing. You're talking about a guy who had a 3-year plan. A big recruit says, "Hey, I want to play in the NFL. This is my plan. I want to graduate and I want to be in the NFL in 3 years." He worked his plan, and now he's here. So again, people that are driven are usually pretty successful. So exciting to get him in the building.
And Cam Taylor-Britt, I mean, Nebraska football, there's nothing bigger in the state of Nebraska than Nebraska football. I mean, that's a big stage as well. And, playing the conference that he played in and playing the places that he played. I mean, both of these guys come in battle tested, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. Again, I think, it's there's something to be said for being used to it. You know what I mean? I can't
Yeah.
speak for it, obviously. You can, and you've lived it. I would imagine the first time you come out of that tunnel as a starter, it had to be pretty special. Your
Yep.
heart had to be about up in your throat. Here we go. It'll be fun. Again, it's such a fun process to get to know these guys and to add them and to kind of grow with what we already have. There will be peaks, there'll be valleys. That's life. That's the NFL. Again, as you know, there's going to come a moment where they're both going to look around and say, "Oh shit, I'm not in Kansas anymore." And that's the fun part.
Yep.
You can see what you have. Then you can see the competitiveness. You can see kind of who sinks and who swims, and that'll all come in training camp, and that'll be looked forward to by everybody. And we'll just start the process and work every day to get better.
You got guys that have played slot corner and safety, and both have played some outside corner. So you're going to obviously take a look at it when they get in here. They may be not interchangeable drill bits, but may provide the same type of options for you. You know, when you have guys like that and can play multiple positions, do you split their time? Do you get them some in the safety room and then they spend time in the corner room, or do you guys meet together because there's such a big overlap there? How do you guys handle, meeting and intellectually processing everything on the back end?
Yeah, that's a great question. We meet together more often than not.
Yeah.
The spring is great, right? You can try new techniques, you can try new positions. And I don't mean to belittle the spring, but you're never going to lose a game in the spring, right? So it's easy to move guys around. The consternation is probably not what it is during the year. So it should be easy to learn and to process and to do that. So again, just being honest, if this was 2 years ago with a limited spring and all that, this would be, it'd be a little tough. But you got guys that'll be in the building. You can know what they know and learn them, bring them along slow, and then see what you got. And again, I think that it's so imperative to just, let's get them in here, see what they can do, and just go from there. Because again, it's guys that have done multiple things and kind of young, ever evolving guys. So super excited to see kind of where that goes.
Both of these guys seem to physically be able to cover the tight end, which has become such a big deal in the National Football League. The tight end position is ever evolving. Just like defense in the National Football League. In conversation yesterday with Lou Anarumo, he mentioned that 70% of the snaps last year were nickel. The base defense was nickel, 4-2-5. That's and tight ends are like big wideouts. They're running routes like wideouts. They're like big wide receivers. So you can never have enough guys that have some length and strength to them that can run. And these guys both fit that bill, don't they?
Yeah, I think, if you look at our year last year, the addition of Trey Flowers mid-year, again, a great acquisition by the personnel people in Lou. It really helped us on defense on third down, covering these tight ends. Bob Trumpy said something to me a long time ago that he came along too early. That's kind of who these guys are. I think if you look at the variety of tight ends we play, even in this, just in the AFC, right? So start in Cleveland, go to Baltimore, doesn't get any easier. Hey, dude. Then you go to Pittsburgh, young guy up and coming, and you can just name them all. So, it is kind of that utility position, the tight end position. They come in all shapes and sizes these days, all different backgrounds, guys that have been former receivers, guys that can put their hand in the dirt. So, yeah, again, the more you can do to stop that and combat that position, the better off you're going to be. So, we got some bullets, and we'll see which ones fly.
We did talk about the intelligence of these guys to be able to absorb, a lot. But as you come in and a different environment, a little overwhelming, where do you initially? You got to start somewhere. Where do you initially see these guys starting? What type of a role is perceived for each of these guys that can be expanded upon? But is Dax Hill safety slot, and then Cam Taylor-Britt more corner slot? How's it going to break down, do you think, that way?
Well, some things are over my pay grade, Mr. Lapham, so
Yes.
I'll wait to get a depth chart and put them in. The way that we do kind of rookie minicamp now is a lot of individual time, so that'll be a great experience to see what they can do. And I would assume that they will be possibly listed as not a CB or an S, but as a DB for
Yep.
for a while, and
Yep.
let the mystery rise here. What are we going to do? But no, I mean, again, both guys obviously have a skill set to do multiple things, and if you can't figure that out as a coach, then you're probably doing something wrong.
You know better than anybody that there are 7, sometimes, you're seeing 8 defensive backs out there, literally.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess the last play in Kansas City, we had 7 DBs out there.
Yeah.
We played some eight DB packages. So, when you only dress 46 guys, you got to be able to do multiple things and wear multiple hats. Obviously, special teams will play a key role in every young guy's development. It obviously gets them a jersey before anything. It's a tough life in the NFL for a young player. Everybody wants immediate success and to start and to be an all-pro, and look at me, and it doesn't usually work that way, as you know. So there'll be some humbling moments, and it's exciting to get them in the building and get them working and see who they can become.
Like we talked about in this league with the quarterbacks and their ability to move, to run. Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, just to name a couple, and Pittsburgh's got a couple of mobile quarterbacks now. Trubisky and Pickett can move, not like the other two, but they're both agile, mobile type quarterbacks. So, running with them is one thing; they can do that. Then you got to get them on the ground, and these guys both seem to be very sure tacklers. Is that something that caught your guys' eye on tape a little bit?
Yeah, that's obviously imperative. There's no such thing as a bad tackle in the NFL. Just got to get them on the ground. Be in the last line of defense as a safety or as a corner, playing on the outside. Nobody cares how it looks. Let's just get them on the ground. And it's a tough game. Again, let's not confuse the AFC North for a 7-on-7 league. I think everybody knows what Pittsburgh wants to be, what Cleveland can be, and God knows what Baltimore is. So you got to be able to tackle, and they can do that. They have that mindset. They love the game. They play it the right way, and they're plenty physical. So that's a big piece of it for sure, because if you can't tackle or if you won't tackle, you can't really help us. So
what you guys did last year, matching up with Kansas City, I mean, the second half of the football game in Cincinnati against the Kansas City Chiefs was just it was unbelievable. The amount of thinking that you made Patrick Mahomes have to do and then try to execute it. Are you guys even always trying to, okay, how do we build on that? How do we take this to the next level? Because I mean, you talk about varied, you talk about multiplicity, you talk about, man, you got to get your nose in the playbook to play these guys. Is that a big part of what you're trying to do is make them a little bit unsure?
Yeah, I think Lou does a great job of showing them one thing and playing something different. The more it can look the same pre-snap and then play completely different post-snap, the more you win as a defense. Let's not pretend that we're not playing with one hand tied behind our back with, touching down the field and defensive holding and all that stuff. So the more surprise you can have post-snap to get these guys off their first read and on their second or third, the better. And then obviously it speaks to the guys coming off the edge, the Trey Hendricksons, the Sam Hubbards, the Cam Samples, the DJ Reed. I mean, there's a million of them, right? BJ Hill. Those guys really, if they get to that second or third read, they're feeling those guys. So then they make mistakes. And again, the more things we can do to show one thing and play something different or just have the same look. Again, I cannot speak highly enough of how Lou kind of packages all that stuff. And that's a big piece of kind of who we are and kind of what we have become. So it's a testament to Lou. It's a testament to our players. It's not easy. There's a lot of rules and there's a lot of things that they really, really bust their ass and do a great job with, and then lay it on the line for them. So,
it's interesting with these two guys as additions, and Sam Hubbard has filled the role. Logan Wilson has filled the role. Multiple defensive backs have filled the role. These guys are 2 additional candidates. You guys have more spy candidates than the FBI or the CIA. You guys have a bunch of gifted athletes that can move and run with these quarterbacks when you so choose to put a little spy on them, don't you?
Yeah, I think Logan might be a little upset. That's obviously something that kind of started his career here. I think you think back to the Lamar Jackson kind of one-on-one matchups that he's had, and
Yep.
Again, to be a young player in the NFL is hard. Lap, you've lived this, man. I mean, it is completely different, right? So
Yep.
to have success, the more you can have a package or a role early on, the more you can learn and have success. And with success, obviously breeds success. And, you don't want to go back to not playing. So you'll bust your ass and you'll do everything. Jessie Bates was an anomaly. He started every game for us the whole time he's been here and has had great success. But for the most part, young DBs, they need roles, and those roles can grow and grow and grow and get them on the field. Because, again, as you have lived, Lap, the first time you come through the tunnel on a week one regular season, it's different. And again, I think these guys have the mindset that it's not going to be too big for them. As you've mentioned, they've been there, they've been to the top, but it'll be different. So we're excited to get them. We're excited about the guys we got, and really looking forward to kind of getting going here on Monday.
Do you feel like as a group on the back end, you guys have as much speed now as anybody in the National Football League?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I would say yes. I don't want to, paint myself into a corner, and I feel really good about the way we run. And
Yeah.
we've got guys on all levels that can really move. Obviously, from corner to safety to linebacker to defensive end, and then even the guys inside. Again, I think if you think back to those Kansas City games, some of those big guys coming out of the stack, it makes you think about running them again, right? If you're running those tunnel screens on the inside and DJ Reader comes flying out of the stack, hey coach, let's not do that one again, please. It speaks to kind of what the NFL has become. You got to be able to move. The RIP Tony Saragusas and those guys of the world, the big Sam Adams, those guys are kind of a dying breed. So you got to be able to move. You got to be able to play on your feet. And we're excited about the guys we got.
Had to feel like Christmas Eve and Santa came when you all three of the first picks were defensive orientated, obviously. And
yeah, Coach Burks came down, and Chuck's coach in our corner is going to do a great job. Excited to work with him. And he kind of looked at me, you're a new guy in the new place, trying to figure it all out. And he's, have they ever drafted all defense since you've been here? And I had to think about it. I was like, I don't know. That's a great question. So, it's three guys that hopefully can help us, and complementary football, whatever that means, right? Obviously, they added some offensive linemen in the free agency, and whatever helps us win. If it's everybody wants to have the best offense or best defense in the league, but as long as you get a W at the end of the day, it don't matter if it's 3-0 or 46-45, as long as we win.
No doubt. And you got a nice addition, Zach Carter, interior pass rush guy. I mean, as we all know, you got good edge pressure. Quarterback can't step up because of interior pressure. You guys are on the back end, just blanket and everything. That's a tough day for quarterbacks, man.
That's the plan. If I could get that in writing, Mr. Lapham, if we could have that 17 times this year, then I promise I wouldn't have quite as many grays up here as I see on this camera starting to come in. But no, it'll be a lot of fun. Obviously, he goes to a room with guys that have had a lot of success. BJ Hill being the prime example as an inside rusher. DJ Reader probably does not get enough credit for the interior rush ability that he has. And then you got those guys screaming off the edge. It's a huge piece of it, and it's our job as DBs to make them hold it. That takes longer, and a sack's just as good as a interception.
Well, Santa came on Christmas Eve, dropped some presents off. Now you guys shortly here will get to unwrap them, see exactly what they can do, get your hands on them, coach them a little bit, see what they're, see, oh, man, on tape, I thought this was the case. And it's confirmed. I got my hands on them on the field, and they are what I thought they were, and that's going to be an interesting time for you, isn't it?
Yeah, first day on the grass is always, a great day, whether it's rookie mini camp, whether it's training camp. Day one is always a special time. With rookies, again, it's a great time to kind of bring them along slow, see exactly what you got, and go from there. But, there's a different feel, obviously, in the building. The month of March and April, as a position coach, you're kind of an independent contractor. You're sitting here and you write your reports and you do all your projects and things like that. So once the guys get back in the building, it's there's a different energy and it's kind of go time. So excited for that. Rookie minicamp will be here whenever that's going to be. Phase 1 starts for us on Monday, so we'll get guys back in the building and really get going. So if the NFL does anything with this draft, right, they paint it in a way that everybody's got a chance. And
Yep.
I think obviously if you look at us last year, coming from where we started to finishing the year in the Super Bowl, that is a rallying cry for everybody. So we'll be hungry to get back to where we were and look forward to the opportunity.
Well, I know your guys on the back end respect the heck out of you, as a teacher, as a person, and you've built a heck of a camaraderie back there. A lot of good relationships, a lot of good bonds back there, man, between players, coach to player, player to coach, and it's good. It's good stuff to see. Congratulations on everything.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Again, I can't speak enough to just the level of love I have for these guys. It's a special group. Really, really excited to get back to work. Anytime that you feel good coming to work, you must be doing something right. And they make my job really easy. I don't have to put up with the BS and the diva and this and that. Everybody's hungry. Everybody wants to learn and be the best they can be. So really exciting to get to work and can't wait.
Getting to work as defending AFC champions.
Here we go.
Has a nice ring to it, man.
It does. It does.
Appreciate your time. Have a great rest of the draft.
Yeah, thanks, Lap. We really appreciate you. Obviously, been a huge supporter of mine and of this team for a long time. I know that the people out there don't see the hours and hours of you at practice and traveling around and away from your family. So your support means a lot. I know the community loves you, and thanks for all you do, bud.
Appreciate you. Thanks very much.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realized self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.